You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
The Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shoshana Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, for weeks, the Grand Bahama community has been on edge. A spree of sexual assaults sending many into a state of panic. And while police continued their search for the person or persons responsible, some questioned if police was doing enough. Well, exactly 1 week ago, following the apparent abduction and assault of a 9-year-old girl, police got a break in the case, and this morning they took not one but 2 suspects before the court to be charged with the recent sexual assault matters on Grand Bahama. Well, our Simone Davis is live tonight at the Garnet Lavarty Justice Center with all of the details. Simone?
That's right, Shoshana. While residents were living in fear for several weeks, 2 accused rapists were roaming the streets, reportedly committing heinous crimes while searching for their next victim. Well, today, the accused Perry Russell and Warren Taylor got their day in court as they were brought before magistrates Simone Brown and Charlton Smith. As family, friends, and several of the victims waited outside, court proceedings began with 23-year-old Warren Taylor, who was arraigned separately before Magistrate Simone Brown on 1 count of unlawful sexual intercourse with a 9-year-old girl. He was also charged with 1 count of child stealing. According to reports, Taylor kidnapped his 9-year-old victim from her home at around 3:30 a.m. on Monday, June 27th. He then lured her out of her home and sexually assaulted her. He was caught on camera outside the child's home, and the video footage led police to his arrest. Taylor was further charged with 1 count of burglary and 1 count of procuration. Prosecutors confirmed that Taylor has been a wanted suspect for stealing since 2021. He was not required to enter a plea for any of those charges. Taylor was then arraigned again before Magistrate Charlton Smith, and this time he was accompanied by 24-year-old Perry Russell. Taylor and Russell were handcuffed together and arraigned in connection to a slew of crimes that date back to April of this year. Each suspect was charged individually with 1 count of burglary with the intent to commit a felony, 1 count of robbery, 1 count of rape, and 1 count of causing harm. The 2 were then charged together with 2 counts of attempted armed robbery and 1 count of causing harm. Due to the nature of these matters, both Taylor and Russell were not required to enter a plea. Bail was denied, and they were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Magistrate Smith then asked the suspects if they had any final words before being remanded, to which Taylor replied, "Your Honor, it is a shame that we are in here and you reading these things to us, and we can't even enter a plea." Magistrate Smith then responded, reminding the men of their right to apply to the Supreme Court to have their matters referred. Taylor will return to court for his child stealing and sexual assault charges on September 15th, 2022, while both he and Russell will return to court on September 26th for a voluntary bill of indictment. Police say they are ensuring that additional measures will be taken place to ensure that police presence and patrol is strengthened on Grand Bahama Island, while ensuring that those responsible for committing those heinous crimes are held accountable and brought before the courts. Live from the Magistrates Court for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis. Back to you, Shoshana.
Great reporting there, Simone. Well, in recent time, there has been an uptick in sex-related crimes against children. Well, many find it hard to believe that children could be violated in such a way. Tonight, Jolanda Thompson talks with 2 medical doctors to find out the mental state of persons who commit such offenses.
As sexual assaults continue to increase in our country, our ZNS News team reached out to 2 doctors to speak on triggers that lead to these crimes.
Sex crimes are on the rise, and those who fall victim to these assaults are left severely traumatized. Clinical consultant Dr. Andy Lang, weighing in on the increase in such gruesome behavior, says based on research, some perpetrators were once a victim as well.
Persons who perpetrate sexual violence against children, a lot of them have become desensitized in their attitudes, and so they have developed attitudes and engage in what is called cognitive distorting, where they make it okay in their minds to and so they convince themselves that it is okay to do what they're doing. What we're actually seeing is the manifestation of perhaps years of being either physically or sexually abused themselves. Okay, and so by the time now this individual reaches adulthood and finds himself in the position of abusing a child, what we see happening is we're seeing that cycle being perpetuated.
Lang notes that there are 2 types of sexual predators.
Those who are situational, meaning that they don't particularly prefer children as objects for sexual gratification, but a situation might occur and an opportunity might present itself, and they would avail themselves of that opportunity. Okay, so those are situational predators. And then there are those who are preferential, and these are the ones who prefer exclusively children as objects for sexual gratification.
Family physician Dr. Kalapo Colley says the first step to healing is to identify the sickness and to take a deeper look into what may have led into this way of life.
Not because someone was abused mean they will become a sexual predator. It has to be fueled by, of course, if someone was abused, sadly, and most people who were abused are abused by people who were previously abused. That's what most of the studies show and what we are finding out. But then again, to go on into that next level of being a predator requires this fueling. Exposure to more sexual contacts at a young age. 1, exposure to, like you said, pornography at a young age that continues. Okay? One scripture said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if a person watches, a young man watches pornography all through his young age and teenage years, it's going to be very hard not to want to go out and fulfill those desires. So they want to fulfill these desires, and anyone that they find available, that's who they attack. First step to healing and recovery is acknowledging. And so we all know we have a basic level of conscience that drives us to know what is right and wrong. Everybody has that initially, but the more you sever that, the more you ignore that and push it away, the harder your heart becomes, and the more resistant you are to change.
Now, these doctors are recommending personal development, consultation, and the rebuilding of one's faith in an effort to see a change in our country. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson.
Breaking news coming into our newsroom at the hour. An apparent armed robbery is under investigation. ZNS News has learned that a short time ago, a lone gunman entered a convenience store in the Pioneers Loop area and robbed the store clerk of an undetermined amount of cash and personal effects. No one was injured, and the gunman was able to escape. Police are on the hunt for the gunman at this hour, and of course, this is a developing story that we will continue to follow. Switching gears now, a group of youth leaders now fully equipped to assist with youth mentorship and youth development on Grand Bahama. The group graduating this past Saturday from a 14-week leadership course coordinated by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Raven Davis has the story. Over 30 individuals having successfully completed a Youth Leader Certification program, recently receiving some well-deserved accolades. The program, initiated under the late Charles Maynard, former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, aims to train, retrain, and sharpen the skills of youth leaders to be both efficient and effective in their lines of duty. Partners, well-wishers, and various government officials, including the Honorable Obadiah Wilchcombe, Senator Kirkland Russell, and Deputy Director of Sports Norris Bain, all on hand for the exercise. Wilchcombe bringing profound remarks as he explains the true essence of leadership and encourages the graduates to put into practice what they've learned.
Leaders bring change. Leaders cause change. The great leaders of our time were individuals who walked alone in many circumstances. Leaders like Lyndon Pinling, who would throw the mace out of the window of the House of Assembly, not knowing what would happen next, but understanding that what was more important was the people of the Bahamas being able to have self-actualization, self-determination, and independence. You who are graduating today, the certification is but the memorial. It is to remind you every day of the course that you encountered, the work that you did. But you will determine whether it has any value.
Youth Programs Coordinator Carla Brown Roca says, since assuming office some 9 years ago, she's faced constant adversity. However, she remains resolute in the face of opposition, noting that bringing relief to the lives of young people is a mandate she, unlike many others, takes seriously.
It is so important that Grand Bahama is front and center. The unfortunate thing about the public service is that you have people taking up space but doing nothing. But I did not come to take up space, and I did not come for a title. I came to do the work while it is day.
Roker and Wilchcombe handing off certificates to the graduates who underwent 14 weeks of training on various topics, including conflict resolution, coping with stress, embracing technology, and career and vocational guidance. Those graduates all smiles as they walked away with a wealth of knowledge and the tangible evidence of it. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis. An ecumenical service of Thanksgiving taking place yesterday in honor of the country's 49th anniversary of independence. Members of the Christian community joining government officials and the wider public to celebrate this important milestone. Here again is Raven Davis. The nation's 49th Independence Day celebrations continuing in true patriotic fashion. An ecumenical service being held at the Community at Heart Tabernacle, Church of God Prophecy, under this year's theme, Proud to be Bahamian. Government officials, members of the clergy, and other residents congregating for the annual praise and Thanksgiving service. An air of excitement permeating the sanctuary as attendees enjoyed a number of special selections. Then a prayer for the government by Father David Cooper.
We understand, dear God, that those who form our government, those who were selected are now elected and are given a charge of public service. We ask you to equip them and appoint them with the skill set necessary. Keep them in touch with the people they serve. Give them wisdom and knowledge and understanding.
The Honorable Ginger Moxie, Minister for Grand Bahama, highlighting God's grace, noting that even in the throes of chaos, God has been good to this country. She reflects on the road to independence, adding that it was a valiant effort on the part of our forefathers to get us to this point, and that in itself is all the more reason to celebrate.
Our nation has endured many trials, but God has always brought us through. When I reflect on the circumstances that the people of Grand Bahama and residents throughout the Bahamas have endured over the past 2 years, I marvel at the fact that God is always with us guiding and protecting us. And even though we have faced tough times, he has never forgotten us. We are the benefactors of our forefathers' faith. We are the recipients of preserved freedom that is guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. The theme of this year's Independence celebrations is Proud to be Bahamian. I encourage us all to embrace this theme and flaunt our Bahamian pride.
But have we completely shunned the basic religious ideals this nation was founded upon? It's a question put forward by Reverend Kenneth Lewis, president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, as he brought the national address.
As a people, we found it necessary to enshrine in the preamble of our Constitution that our country is founded on Christian principles. And we have declared to the entire world that this nation of ours is a Christian nation. The question before us, is it still a Christian nation? Can we go back, Bahamians? Can we go back to the days when children played in the streets? Can we go back when children played marbles and played hopscotch? Can we go back to the days when we were able to walk from East Street to Bay Street and no one bothered us?
Well, certainly a joyous occasion here, the service concluding with the national anthem, but these celebrations are expected to continue throughout the week. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis. And in keeping with the spirit of independence, tonight we launch a special week-long series called From Whence We Came. We will feature Bahamians giving their perspective on the struggle for independence and how the country has progressed over the past 49 years. In our first installment, our Aja Kwan talks with a former prominent public officer who recalls Freeport before and after independence.
At 86 years old, Austin Davis, affectionately known as Bernie, is reminiscing on life before independence. In 1958, Mr. Davis relocated to West Grand Bahama with the Customs Department at the Jack Tar Village, where he describes the native settlement, one of the most beautiful places in the Bahamas. Just 11 years later, the rousing Bend or Break speech by Sir Lyndon Pinling during the opening ceremony for the New Barco Oil Refinery occurred with a powerful message.
It spoke about Freeport not having a soul, and in a short while they should realize that they have to have a soul. And really, it wasn't meant to destroy Freeport as it was publicized. And if you read that speech today, you see nowhere where he meant to kill Freeport, as they said. That was the public outcry among the foreigners. But Bahamians, they could not get jobs for which they were qualified. That's just how it was.
Upon returning home in the nick of time for independence, Davis says the celebration was a great experience with an upbeat morale from Bahamians, also thanking Sir Lyndon Pinling for his contributions during that time.
Well, before independence, he was naturally like a hero, and he had a following of some very, very forceful people, particularly the taxi union and so forth. They were heavily supporting his movement. All of the Bahamians were supporting his movement, his move to real independence.
As the 2022 independence celebrations are approaching, he urges Bahamians to continue to move forward rather than remaking old plans, as the world is constantly evolving.
This is no longer the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Times have changed, people have changed, nations have changed, and you can't bring back what you had. What we must do is plan where we want to go and work towards those plans.
For Bernie Davis, from whence we came to him means that the country is moving into a higher level in the hierarchy of countries that have been born in just the last century. He adds that the Bahamas is doing well despite drawbacks, but is still one of the best countries in the world.
Absolutely powerful. And from whence we came, the series continues all week with our Asher Kwan. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Come on down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need. Come on down. Now.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mayers and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
Grand Bahama, are you ready?
I'm ready.
For the first time after 2 years, it's Coconut Fest.
Coconut every day.
Coconut drinks and the best in coconut Bahamian food.
Boy, that coconut salad look good.
And much more. Live entertainment and coconut games. Fun for the whole family.
What, I mean, I could bring little Shanae too?
That's on Monday, July 11th, this Independence weekend at the beautiful Pelican Point Beach. Grand Bahama, let's go coconut.
Coconut crack Coke. I gotta try it out.
COVID-19 protocols and security strictly enforced. Please drink responsibly.
Nowadays, tiles trend like fashion, and Grand Bahama Tiles leads the way with trendy and classic styles from North and South America, Europe, and Asia. Imagine your home with natural stone, elegant marble, sleek porcelain, earthy granite, or slate. Grand Bahama Tiles has it all. They even export to the Family Islands. Maybe it's time to update your style, get the look, and transform your space with the latest tiles trending at Grand Bahama Tiles.
Pizza Hut Freeport is bringing you savings this summer. Order a large one-topping pizza with a 2-liter Coke, along with our newest dessert, the Pineapple Tart, for just $22.50, VAT inclusive. A delicious pizza, 2-liter Coke, and a Pineapple Tart to satisfy your sweet tooth. Available for carry-out, delivery, and curbside to go. Call us at 352-9191 downtown or 373-8500 East Sunrise Highway. Pizza Hut Freeport, for the love of pizza.
Celebrate our nation's 49th independence at the Cultural Extravaganza on Independence Park, Saturday, July 9th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. We are proud to be Bahamian.
Breaking news. You want seafood straight from the sea to the plate. Garnet fresh conch and seafood. Snappers, groupers, conch straight out of the shell. You want crayfish, lobster, crab meat, crab legs, salmon, mussels. You want bait, ballyhoo, etc. Then Chumbucket is your best bet. Located Fish Market, Goombay Park, and at the Agora Plaza.
On the night of independence, I was on the park, and the point in the moment when the Union Jack came down and the Bahamian flag went up, the breeze picked up and started to blow the flag. It was a joyous moment, joyous occasion.
Your #1 news team covering the North, Tonight, Northern Edition.
Your Monday evening sports check is next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Well, it was a busy weekend in sports. We do have some flag football updates, but let's begin with the Northern Bahamas Bodybuilding Championships. The Northern Bahamas Bodybuilding Championships wrapped up this weekend at the Grand Lucayan Hotel, where the best of the best competed for bragging rights and hardware. Placing first in the men's physique category was Terrion Kemp.
Ever since last year, I was getting ready for this, and I know I had to do a lot of work from last year. I spoke to the coaches, and they told me what I need to work on. This year, I made sure I make those improvements. So it feels good to take first place. Nationals, I come in, and I don't want no one. Anyway, we come in, and we're gonna be dangerous.
Winning the women's fit model and women's figure was Sanadia Smith.
It was an overwhelming experience. I can say I'm definitely proud of where I came from to where I am now. It was quite an experience, especially where I've competed twice, and this time I feel as if I made like a 360.
Andrew Sweden took top honors in the men's bodybuilding middleweight class.
After 3.5 years coming back, it's really it's a different feeling because we were out of the league for a long time, but I love the crowd. I mean, it shows that Grand Bahamas still is alive. We got less athletes because it was just something just came about to have the show, which is still great. The crowd still supporting.
Oric Nesbitt walked away as the winner in the super heavyweight category and was also the overall winner in men's bodybuilding.
The show has not been a free fought for about maybe 5 years, I would think so. Bodybuilding is a sport that I really love. Travel the world with it, so to know that I was coming back to Freeport, I had to get on it, and it feels good to put in the hard work and actually get the reward.
Costacia Stewart was the top place finisher in the women's bikini competition.
It feels awesome after working so hard. Of course, everybody wants to be winners, and everybody put in the time and dedication, but it just feels so good to come out on top and know that I'm on the right track.
Rounding out the competition was Cara Sanders, who won the women's wellness category, and Alexander Kemp, who took top honors in the men's fit model. Switching gears now, Grand Bahamian Cameron Riley recently competed at the APGA Tour at TPC Sugarloaf in Georgia. The former FAMU College standout, who's now on the pro circuit, finished 9th overall on the leaderboard. And finally in sports, the Grand Bahama Flag Football League wrapped up its regular season on Sunday with one game played. Freeport container Port Stackers defeated GB Knights 15-10 to advance to next week's playoff game against Three Links Boys. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Plan your Independence Weekend celebration at the Grand Lucayan Hotel. Buffet brunch at Portobello's from noon until 4. Free mimosas. A relaxing day at Senses Spa. Happy Independence, Bahamas.
The Pro Cathedral of Christ the King, celebrating 60 years of proclaiming Christ as King and sharing him with others. In the late 1960s, the Paris Vestry saw the need for a permanent residence for their priest. The various incumbent was living in a house located on Amunton Avenue, which the church rented from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Pontiana Drive was chosen as the location for the new rectory, as there was thought that there was no sufficient land next to the church to accommodate a house. With a grant of $20,000 from the Port Authority and a mortgage from the bank, the rectory was completed and blessed by Bishop Bernard Markham on June 23, 1963. My name is Journey Bannister, and this has been a historical moment brought to you by the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King.
Come on down to Superb Water Depot and Snacks. We sell and we deliver ice, drinks, purified water, alkaline water, and a variety of snacks. Your one-stop shop for all your snacks and water needs. Contact 242-820-2482. We are located number 2 La France Plaza, Peachtree Street. Purified water, 50 cents a gallon. Alkaline water, 80 cents a gallon. Come on now, you can't beat that. We offer superb quality, superb taste, and superb service. Monday to Saturday, 8 to 8, and Sundays, 8 to 2. Superb Water Depot and Snacks. Come on down.
Notice Production.
The summer is back, back, back. The summer is hot.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
If you're thinking of investing in Grand Bahama or any other island, contact Bahama Island Properties for all of your real estate services. Visit their office in the Port Lacaya Marketplace, their website bahamaislandproperties.com, or call them at 374-7653. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
That's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Farquharson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the Prime Minister calls for unity. COVID deaths climb. The streets claim too. And on the sports scene, big showdown at Baha-Mar. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. I'm Akush Lapinder. Thanks so much for joining us. The 43rd CARICOM Heads of Government meeting underway in Suriname following last evening's opening ceremony. The event, a show of regional unity that saw 3 CARICOM nationals conferred with the Order of the Caribbean, the highest honor in the region. Fern Carey is on the ground for us. She files this report.
Leaders from across the region touting a message of being better together at the official opening ceremony Sunday evening for the 43rd regional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in Paramaribo, Suriname. The colorful ceremony featuring songs by a local ensemble and lively cultural performances reflecting Suriname's diverse cultural, religious, ethnic, and linguistic heritage. Among those bringing remarks, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, Dr. Carla Barnett. She called for a comprehensive plan of action to put the region on the road to food security in the face of supply chain disruptions and a global food and energy crisis.
This has gone beyond focusing on the objective of cutting the regional food import bill by 25% by 2025, important as that is, to encompassing comprehensive actions to create an agri-food sector that will finally put our region on the road to self-sufficiency.
That is a beautiful sight. The conference also heard from newly elected heads of government since the last regular meeting of the conference, including the Prime Minister of Grenada, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis.
The national anthem of Suriname reminds us that wherever our ancestors came from, we should take care of our country. With great respect, I will add, wherever our ancestors came from, we should take care of our countries and our region. We can find the determination and renewed purpose to leave behind something better for those who will follow us. I certainly believe we will be better together.
And the conference also heard from Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Antonio Guterres. He highlighted a number of measures that will benefit countries across the region.
wealthy countries must finally make good on $100 billion climate finance commitment to developing countries starting this year. It was promised for 2020, it didn't happen in 2021, and it might not happen if a huge effort is not made now for 2022. And we also need clarity in 2022 on the Glasgow commitment to double adaptation finance, as well as ensuring your eligibility and access to that finance.
Reporting from CARICOM in Suriname, Fern Carey for the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, thanks, Fern. Back here in the capital, enhanced healthcare services now accessible to residents with the opening of the renovated orthopedic clinic and wound care services at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The upgrades, part of the Urgent and Emergency Care Project, a joint partnership between the Ministry of Health and the Public Hospitals Authority. Desmond Saunders has more.
It's a critical block at the Princess Margaret Hospital that serves over 5,000 patients regularly. The renovated orthopedic clinic and wound care services now equipped with several new examination rooms, a refurbished waiting area, new cast rooms and bathroom facilities, an improved triage space. There's also new medical equipment and signage to enhance patient experience. Provisions are also in place to enhance service to the disabled community. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville, believes the upgrades will respond to the country's urgent healthcare needs.
Additional space is absolutely necessary for us to provide the quality of services that we would like to. So this official opening today, I'm convinced by tomorrow we'll be utilizing the spaces. And the beauty about these spaces, even though they are for what they say they are, they can be used for other things if we find ourselves in a difficult situation.
Now, this multi-million-dollar project started in 2017. COVID-19 halted renovations. This is the first of many upgrades at this facility with the whole aim of providing quality, accessible health care to Bahamians.
The Princess Margaret Hospital, the second phase, you walk the corridor, you will see some additional spaces are needed in order for us to improve the quality of healthcare delivery systems for our patients. That is expected to be completed, I think, at the end of the year, but we're waiting to see exactly what the outcome would be.
Healthcare facilities across New Providence will get an upgrade.
We have the Elizabeth Estate facility. I just finished phase 1. We're now in phase 2. We are finishing up the South Beach Clinic, which is an essential urgent care facility to ensure that those individuals suffering from chronic non-communicable diseases, hypertension, diabetes, wound care, and the list goes on and on, have access to healthcare services in the community, taking the burden off of the accident and emergency at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Likewise, we have work that is going to start this week at the Blue Hills Clinic.
Manpower needs also being addressed at both Doctors and Princess Margaret Hospitals. Monday's blessing and commissioning ceremony, a continued journey towards improved health care. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Desmond Saunders.
The Health and Wellness Minister also letting the press in on plans to upgrade the dialysis unit at the Princess Margaret Hospital.
There is a plan in place, hopefully very shortly, to relocate those services on the compound elsewhere so we can go into the dialysis unit and do the necessary upgrades to provide the services, these key services for individuals who need dialysis.
Minister Darville also providing an update on the proposed construction of 2 new hospitals in the country.
During my budget communication, I spoke about our blueprint for change and the fact we promised the Bahamian people 2 new state-of-the-art hospitals. The hospital at Durand Memorial Hospital and in Grand Bahama is well on its way. We are looking to acquire some land. Before I could acquire the land, I needed to make sure that the geotechnical studies, the rock, was adequate for the facilities. My preliminary reports that came to me on Sunday is showing that it is, and so we have about 13 more boreholes to do on that land. Once that's completed, and I'm convinced by our engineers that the ground is the right ground, we will go ahead and acquire the property and begin the process for the capital works and the civil works that are necessary to prepare for the construction of that facility. While that is happening, we are finalizing our feasibility study here in New Providence. There's some potential sites that we're looking at. Very soon, we'll make a determination of what would be 2 or 3 of the appropriate sites. And from there, a similar thing will have to go on.
Well, children under the age of 5 now eligible to receive the Pfizer or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. This after the FDA recently deemed both safe and effective for that age group. Now, despite vaccine uptake in the country being low, President and CEO of Doctors Hospital, Dr. Charles Diggers, believes Bahamians will move to get their children vaccinated.
Pediatricians seem to be very keen and very pleased that the approval, I think, for 5-year-olds and up has already been given. So I'd imagine that the parents, given all the scientific information, the evidence to support the safety profile of the vaccine, that parents would absolutely have their kids vaccinated. That's my opinion. Get as much information as you can and have a very sensible conversation with your pediatrician about whether it's something that your child should do.
With the Independence holiday just days off, Diggers anticipates that, as usual, COVID-19 cases will again rise.
There may be an increase in cases because of the transmissibility, and people are loath when they're outdoors to mask up or distance up. So you may get an increase in cases. The fortunate thing is that the severity of cases currently is going to mean that it is less likely that we would have to deal with individuals who need to be admitted for severe and serious illness. The theme is, if you're not yet completely vaccinated, get vaccinated so that if you get the infection, it's not going to be serious or severe.
And speaking of COVID, 2 females in their 40s, the latest to succumb to the COVID-19 virus here in the Bahamas. One of them from New Providence, the other from Abaco. Their deaths just days apart in late June. The countrywide death toll now at 820, with another 10 deaths under investigation. Equally troubling, the steady rise in COVID hospitalizations, which as of Sunday was at 52, and still 2 of the sick are on the intensive care unit. This as newly confirmed cases are at 19, 15 on New Providence, 2 on Eleuthera, and 1 each on Andros and Bimini and Cat Key. On the other end, a reported 47 people recovered from COVID on Sunday. Meantime, despite confirmation of a local case of monkeypox, Doctors Hospital CEO Dr. Charles Diggers urges Bahamians not to panic, but instead to arm themselves with education. Health professionals say the virus is not as contagious as COVID-19.
There's never a need for mass hysteria. It's just very important to get all the information that you should get. So read as best as you can the scientific evidence from reliable sources. The Ministry of Health is a very useful source of information that is reliable. And use the directives that come from the World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, etc.
Still to come, a traffic fatality probe underway and money owed to water and sewage. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
They say that when it hits you. A feeling so strong that it's impossible not to give into. A juicy piece of KFC to feel elevated by the aroma and to free fall into its exciting flavor. Some call it love, attraction, desire. We call it KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
The Bahamas 49th Anniversary of Independence Committee presents Proud to be Bahamian, and it's all on the ZNS Network. The annual Beat Retreat from Bay Street in Parliament and Rawson Square, Sunday, July 3rd, starting at 4 p.m. Live on ZNS Radio and Television. The ecumenical service and flag raising ceremony from historic Clifford Park, Saturday, July 9th at 7:30 p.m. Live on ZNS Radio and Television. The official announcements of recipients of national honors, Sunday, July 10th at 3 p.m. and the Independence Gospel Explosion live from Clifford Park at 6:30 p.m. And for the first time ever, the Independence State Dinner live on ZNS TV Monday, July 11th at 6:30 p.m. The ZNS Network is your home for the 49th celebration of independence. Don't miss it.
Kids, let's go! Sean, what are you doing?
I solved it. We'll buy our life insurance policy from this company and then go over here and get our home insurance. Then get our motor policy from right over here.
Or we could just get it all with CG Atlantic. Save a lot of money and effort.
They do it all? Even pensions?
Even pensions.
We're like a husband that doesn't overcomplicate everything. CG Atlantic. Good like that.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
The years have not been kind to the Water and Sewage Corporation, not when you consider the money it owes, and this despite efforts by successive governments to pay off these arrears. According to Public Works Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, at this point, the Ministry of Finance is in consultation with a number of desalination operators to restructure and reschedule.
Water is the most important resource for life, and therefore we're giving it high priority, and we're also ascertaining and doing an inventory of the natural water reserves within the country, and also building the infrastructure in terms of sewage treatment so that we can produce what is known as reuse water for the purpose of golf courses and lawns and so on. And therefore,
reserve the potable water for human consumption.
Now, while the arrears figure escapes him, the minister acknowledges that in the case of some desalination operators, it is substantial.
What we met, that is threat to terminate water supply on some of our family islands, we're not there. But we are treating and negotiating an amicable way forward.
Turning now to news from the police, a Monday morning traffic fatality claiming the life of two young men on Gladstone Road. Police said it was shortly before 5 a.m. when they were called to a scene in the vicinity of Aquinas College. There, they met a black, mangled Honda Accord that collided with the back of a Mack garbage truck. Police have not yet released the identities of the victims, but have confirmed them to be two males in their mid-20s.
The initial investigation in this incident revealed that both drivers were traveling south along Gladstone Road when the driver of the Honda vehicle collided into the Mack truck, and both individuals succumbed to their injuries. We are not able to say whether speed or what factors are involved in this collision.
The double tragedy prompting police to reiterate their appeal to motorists to exercise caution while driving.
In most instances, it appears that speed is the cause, or undue care, not exercising the necessary care and attention is basically the cause of these accidents. And so we admonish the motoring public to exercise the necessary care while driving on the streets of New Providence.
Police also reporting several arrests here in the capital. 3 of the suspects picked up in the area of Market and Martin Streets around 1 this morning. This after officers spotted occupants of a Hyundai Jeep acting suspiciously. The driver was instructed to pull over. During a field search, officers found a pistol with 5 rounds of ammunition. 2 men are expected to face a magistrate in connection with the incident. The same in the case of an equally suspicious motorcyclist police came across while patrolling Market and Fleming Streets. A search of the suspect revealed a pistol with 3 unfired rounds of ammunition. The man was taken into custody. Well, the Royal Bahamas Police Force fine-tuning plans to confirm Clayton Fernanda as its 9th commissioner in a handover ceremony at the force's East Street headquarters come Tuesday afternoon. Fernanda succeeds Paul Roll, who's completed 39 years in policing. Altavis Munnings learned more about the outgoing commissioner and his designate successor's working relationship in a recent interview. She joins us live in studio. Good evening, Altavis.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. Well, Makushla, you and I and many other reporters have worked closely with Commissioner Paul Roll over the years, as far back as when he was in charge of the Central Detective Unit. And then we can tell you that he is giving a message to officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force as he demits office in a few hours. And as the country's top cop, his only message to officers: support your commissioner.
This police force is bigger than me. It's bigger than him. There's no color in him. We have to serve the Bahamian people. And I've said to those officers, you need to throw your support behind the Commissioner of Police. And if you feel that you cannot support the ideologies of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, then get off the ship and find somewhere else to work. Do not be a hindrance, because the Bahamian people need us.
Paul Roll and Clayton Fernanda have had a long working relationship, stretching as far back as April 1st, 1984, when both men, then rookies, were transferred to the Central Detective Unit, a move that molded their policing careers. Years later, Commissioner Roll elevated his friend and comrade as the force's second in command.
I made representation to the Prime Minister. He didn't come to me. I went to him with that because we had I needed somebody with a strong CID background. All of my assistant commissioners at the time did not have. None of them had CID. But crime going up, man, I need some help, okay? And I restructured how we were doing things and put Fernanda in charge of crime. And say, look, help with this, help me manage crime. because I'm the commissioner. I'm still getting called all hours of the night.
And believe it or not, the outgoing police commissioner was ready to demit office in April. Still, he had to wait for confirmation on the Prime Minister's schedule to hold the handover ceremony, now set for July 5th.
I support Clayton Fernando to be commissioner. Okay? And so when the time came, I prepared the documents and I nominated him and Layman Delavo to be deputy commissioner. And I submitted those and submit my documents. That's how that worked. But now I could say that. I couldn't say it then because, there was a whole lot of stuff people were saying. But, you can't, there's a time for everything.
And Commissioner Roll's biggest regret? The force's method of investigating police-involved shooting incidents.
And I had the line, don't just take what you see and what you're told at the surface, but dig deeper. Dig deeper. And that is why I made it a priority to invest in body-worn cams and dash cams. Because, officers, you would hear things, and then you'll have members of the public who call me and they would say, I was there, that account what you all give, that ain't go like that. And I became very concerned, and I've said that I made my position known.
Well, Commissioner Roll didn't want to share the advice for the new commissioner in the interview he did with our news team, but he will reveal it at tomorrow's handover ceremony. And you can watch the handover ceremony right here on the ZNS Network at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Mannings. Back to you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Altaviz. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
At Bank of the Bahamas, we give you lots of reasons to love your life. We offer the lowest rates in the country on debt consolidation and consumer loans. And we help you save with our low-rate switch mortgages. Need a new car? Simply apply for a BOB auto loan and hit the road. And shopping is so easy with BOB credit and prepaid cards. It's time to live and laugh again. Love the life you live with BOB, your bank of solutions.
The View Talk Show takes on the views of the Bahamas. The ABC Morning Show celebrated 25 seasons by visiting our shores at Baja Bay at Baha Mar.
Today, millions of visitors all around the world are getting a front seat into what we are as a country and the beauty that surrounds us as a people. So the View in the 25th session is really being taped in the Bahamas and Nassau at the beautiful Baja Bay. And we are just so excited. There was great enthusiasm in the crowd, the audience, but most of all, the hosts of The View expressed again their love for our country.
DDG Dr. Kenneth Romer goes on to say why events like this are so important for tourism and the Bahamas.
We were aggressive in our rebound, our recovery initiative. And so what we see today is just validation of our internal belief that there is pent-up demand for our destination. So visitors are coming back. The Deputy Prime Minister says that it is called revenge tourism. Then we're not just rebounding, we are rebounding at an accelerated rate. We are outperforming the region, and the region is outperforming the entire world. So this is another red letter day for our tourism family, for our destination. And we are saying to persons that not only is it better in the Bahamas, but like our host said of The View, it is best in the Bahamas.
For more information on The View's 25th anniversary celebration, visit bahamar.com. I'm Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
protection. Join the family, join the family, family guardian. Protect the ones you love, a friend that you can trust, family guardian.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
As the nation approaches its 49th birthday, wife of the country's champion for independence tells her story of family, growth, and dedication to the greater cause. Lloyd Allen reports.
I don't think I even remember what the word trust meant. I didn't have time to think about it, and no one explaining it. They don't have the time to explain to you, so you had to, either you're with it or you're not.
Dame Marguerite says it's been a long journey to independence, but through her eyes as wife of the country's first Prime Minister, Sir Lynden Pindling, it was a lesson of trust. After Sir Lynden began his political journey at the age of 25, Dame Marguerite admits there were numerous occasions where she led the home, while her husband fought for the nation.
In 1958, Pindling was in London again at the Constitutional Office, I think that's the name of the place, pleading the case of the Bahamian people, because we were in the majority and we were treated like second-class citizens. You couldn't go there and you couldn't go, everywhere was segregated. You couldn't go to restaurants, you couldn't go to the theater.
She says the strides of Sir Lynden were always rooted in equality for all, even when the decision was made to agitate for diversity in commercial banks, led by Sir Lynden and Sir Milo Butler.
And the Bahamians need to know about it, because all the things they're enjoying today came because of his administration. And Sir Milo Butler banked with Royal Bank. And he kept going in there telling the managers it's time to have black tellers. So this day he decided he would go in the bank and he would carry Pindling. So he asked him, who's going with you, Sir Milo or Mr. Butler? He said, you're the leader of the party, you come. And they had to drag him into the bank to see when Sir Milo hit the door and shouted, they want to see the manager, and if you don't come out to me, manager, I'm coming into you. That is how we are in the banks today.
Dame Marguerite also notes that far removed from being the father of a nation, Sir Lynden was and remains one of the most unique people she has met in her life.
There was a young man that Pindling always added to his entourage. A young man called Skeeter Collins out of the Valley, I think that's where he lived. And he always entertained Sir Lynden by speaking in baseball terms. Pindling was a Brooklyn Dodger fan. He never kept company, because he never brought company home unless he got permission, because this house was not a political, I mean, this was home. He came home, like I said, every day for lunch. He enjoyed fried snapplehead. That's the first thing he would eat. And if it's not on the plate, he would ask the cook, please, what did you do with the head?
All the while, she says her role as wife and mother over the years remained her greatest focus.
My job was to see to his meals, his clothes, and his children. And that I tried to do to the best of my ability. The rest out there, he could handle that.
For Dame Marguerite, 49 years of independence was worth it all. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, meantime, another year down for the land of the free and the home of the brave. The United States kicking off its 246th anniversary early with a ceremony aboard the USS Lassen on Friday, July 1st. The event, held under the theme From Sea to Shining Sea, drawing the likes of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, who acknowledged the endearing ties between the two countries. Those sentiments echoed by U.S. Charge d'Affaires Yusha Pitts and Commander of U.S. Fleet Forces Command, Admiral Darrell Claude. Among those participating in the cake-cutting ceremony, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, and Chief Justice Sir Brian Marie. Well, volunteers over at the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts feeling the heat after its 40-year-old 8-unit air conditioning system seized, the end result of the center's 18-month closure due to the pandemic. Board members today appealed for assistance in raising $150,000 to repair the system and allow volunteers to get back to work. Board Chair Dr. Nicolette Bethel talked about the necessary repairs and the $200,000 in losses incurred due to the closure.
In the last 2 years, there's been a lot of termite activity. We will need to refurbish the bathrooms and redo the bathroom roof. The Philip A. Burrows roof also needs redoing. So there's a lot of work that needs to happen. At the end of 2019, we were almost taking in $90,000 to $100,000 in a year. In 2020, when we closed, we lost a lot of that revenue. Tinfurl was in the property, and Tinfurl, I think, put $15,000 into the theater for the year that they were here. But we generate, as I say, 6 times that.
But Bethel and artistic director Philip Burrows says despite the challenges, the shows and plays the center produces will go on.
We expect maybe half of the plays that we're looking at to be in the black box, and then we have to figure out if Fiona's is the only place or if we have other. We've performed in a number of different spaces over the years.
Our main issue is that we produce the same people who are working in the theater, the same volunteers are the same people behind Shakespeare in Paradise, behind Ringplay Productions, and summer is taken up for us by preparations for Shakespeare in Paradise. So what we need is the ability to raise our revenue to be able to begin to employ people at full time.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. So just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Time to save with a new perspective, where the focus is on values and principles, and people are just as important as profits, where we believe in democracy and equality, and your vote counts, where profits are shared with our members, who are also our owners, to ensure that by working together, we all win, where education of our members and training our staff are one of our highest priorities, where we serve our members' needs through continued cooperative initiatives because of our concern for the communities in which we live. Join more than 40,000 Bahamians who have made the smarter choice. Join the movement. Join a credit union. People helping people to help themselves.
A household name carries a lot of approval. And when you're shopping for household, you need a household name. For 50 years, Bahamas Welding and Fire has been a household name in outdoor grills and kitchen appliances. Need to beautify that yard space for your grill? BWF has it covered. For the industrial worker, you can find a complete line of tools and safety equipment. For the welder of any level or budget, you can find the right machinery to power everything. There's no shortage on power with a wide array of generators. And safety is everyone's responsibility. Find everything needed to protect everyone on the worksite. Over 40,000 square feet of shopping space in a convenient location. Bahamas Welding and Fire. We're more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street.
I was actually born into farming. My grandfather, who is 80 years old, he's a first-generation farmer. 3 generations later, I decided to go into farming. So we do have 2 operating farms at this time, the one in Nassau and the one in Andros. This season, Access Accelerator assisted us in funding our strawberry project here on Andros. With us being able to access the Fish and Farmers Grant, it has actually given us the capital that we needed to start this farming season for our strawberry crop. We do believe that people eating organic food is very important. We want to offer safe food and organic food. Some persons are still shocked that we've been existing for 8 years. Outside of having to come to our website to make purchases, if we can get more of our products to our clients, we'll be happy to do that, and local distribution would help us with that. I can tell you the industry is not attractive for young people. However, if you are passionate about something, you will definitely be able to excel in that area. And at this point for me, it's fun to be a farmer in the Bahamas.
Snack and win with Act 2 popcorn and Crunch and Munch. Buy a 3-pack of Act 2 popcorn and a 10-ounce Crunch and Munch. Then take your receipt to Pritchard's Robinson Road. You could win cash prizes or summer fun experiences. Enter today.
Our free pick, pack, delivery service gives everyone in the Family Islands a chance to shop a variety of club products and prices right from home. Simply call or WhatsApp your order to 242-677-7266 or email order@amlfoods.com. A friendly customer service representative is waiting to pick, pack, and deliver your order to the mailboat of your choice. The options are truly endless, and with membership you save even more. So order today and let CostRite pick, pack, and deliver right to you.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Private partnership will see to the improvement of more than 40 miles of road on the island of Exuma. Our Anthony Smith was on the island and toured the project as it began.
For residents on the island of Exuma, traffic has become somewhat of the norm. The bumper-to-bumper backup, the result of a new and ongoing road expansion project. It's an initiative which will see to the pavement of some 45 miles of road toward the eastern end of Exuma, a mammoth task in which the almost 100-member crew at Bahamas Striping Group's subsidiary, Caribbean Pavement Solutions, have already taken on.
We're carrying out actual asphalt paving works, and certainly in order to do that, obviously we're doing some corrections to the existing road in terms of the profiling of the road and making sure that the crown is in place so that we can mitigate for water settlement.
The improvement project comes as the company just recently wrapped up works on a 10-mile paving project on Exuma, and also as the island continues to develop at a rapid pace. Officials have long remarked the need for the island's infrastructure to catch up to its economy, and according to Bahamas Striping officials, residents feel the same.
They actually come along very well. They understand that with progress is going to have some delays, so they have not been complaining as much as they did it when we first started the 10-mile project. But everything is moving along smoothly. We have updated the public constantly as what it is they're doing, so everything is running smoothly so far.
But the scope of works goes beyond just paving roads, as it's being developed with sustainability in mind.
Part of the expanded works would include things like seawalls, it will include drainage wells, it would also include guardrails, and then certainly the icing on the cake, which is how Bahamas Striping got its start, is really the striping, the marking, signage, reflective road studs, etc. And so we're looking forward to delivering.
An estimated completion date for the project is set for summer 2024. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
The Airbnb market holding its own among travelers eager to experience destinations similar to locals. And on Andros, the trend is creating a new wave of entrepreneurs big on creativity and hospitality. Tourism Representative Peter Douglas explains.
I'm so proud to see how many Androsians are renting on Airbnb, having visitors come and they're taking their beachfront family properties and turning them into vacation rentals. And people come here and they're driving through the community. They want places to go have coffee and lunch. And coming out of the pandemic, to be doing this, providing this service is just awesome. And we're going to make sure through the Ministry of Tourism that everybody who comes here know our young up-and-coming entrepreneurs.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Bakishla. We are currently under partly cloudy conditions, temperature at 82 degrees, relative humidity 83%. We have easterly winds at 7 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars, that's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 85 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Toll, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the Berry Islands, 84 degrees. Alistown, Bimini, 86, 79 degrees in Harbor Island with some cloud cover and showers taking place there. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 86, Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews reporting 82, 81 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 85 degrees, 83 in Georgetown, Exuma, 83 is also in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, 86, Acklands, 86, Matthew-Town, Nagu, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 86 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, right through the middle of the week, Wednesday, the winds are going to be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide, that will take place at 24 minutes past midnight, but a low tide at 6:54 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, also through Wednesday, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags will be in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands through Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Nutritionist and personal healthy lifestyle coach Shay King is not missing out on the opportunity to display her products down at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market. We spoke with King as she was busy whipping us up some of her crowd-pleasing fritters. At her booth, Eat Emotionally Well, King specializes in helping persons to rethink, refocus, and refuel their diets.
Sea moss is a plant-based food, of course, out of the ocean, and because sea moss has a lot of wonderful medicinal benefits, I make a lot of topical and edible products using sea moss. I also make it in capsules. All of my drinks that I make has sea moss in them, and I don't use white sugar, so the whole idea is to give you an experience from sea moss, but give you a healthier version.
King has taken some of our traditional Bahamian dishes and added a healthy touch.
You have a lot of vegans and vegetarians that don't eat conch, so I would make cracked sea moss. I would make a cracked sea moss and conch sea moss fritters. And instead of using traditional flour, I would use gluten-free flour. I would fry them in coconut oil, and I would use herbs, fresh herbs and spices to make the fritter. So that's a healthier version of the fritter.
So what has been the reaction of those who decided to eat emotionally well?
For people who would try sea moss, they don't usually, either they would not like the flavor or they would not like the taste. So my mango sea moss has become a hit. People are pleasantly surprised about that. The gummies, you're supposed to really eat one a day. People usually end up eating 2-3 of them a day. So pleasantly surprised.
If you're interested in any of King's gels, tablets, gummies, or if you just want to eat emotionally well, here's how you can reach King.
Facebook, Twitter, and also my website at eatemotionallywell.com. And my number is 801-4885. So just remember sea moss on everything.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgie Bain.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give up your time.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Where can you find amazing selections of tiles from around the world? Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King. The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign. And I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
Drop everything you're doing and head to Super Value and Quality Supermarkets for great savings like Rainbow Corned Beef, 12 ounce, $2.39. Mott's Apple Juice, 86 ounce, $4.99. Fresh Limes, 4 for $1. Olivia Cooking Oil, 48 ounce, $4.49. Chicken Drumsticks, $1.29 per pound. Save, save, save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is ZNS Total Sports. Welcome to your sports on this Monday. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Well, it's game day after much anticipation. The Bahamas men's national basketball team currently playing the final game of this window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers at the Baha Mar Convention Center, with tip-off getting underway just after 7 p.m. 242 already locking up its spot in the second window later this summer after defeating the U.S. Virgin Islands over the weekend. Sports Minister the Honorable Mario Bolag speaking on the importance of support from you, the general public, for our Bahamian Hoopers.
I'm asking all Bahamians to come out and support this national team. Let's see our high qualified coaches like Yolet, McQuinn, coach here, and then you have Buddy Hield is going to be playing. So let's come out and support this national team and ensure that they get the home court advantage cooking so that we can win this game and move on and be proud that we, for the first time in 50 years, we are now in the World Cup. I thank you.
In baseball news, another Bahamian joining a Major League Baseball organization over the weekend. This is 16-year-old Paris Johnson inked a deal with the LA Dodgers at a press conference at Bahamas Harvest on Saturday. The Max D prospect stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. The outfielder's ability to hit the ball is one of the reasons why he was considered a top international prospect. He played in the World Wood Bat Association 14 under East Memorial Day Classic in 2019, where his batting average was just over 700. Johnson was named to the all-tournament team. Johnson joining the ever-growing list of Bahamian prospects joining major league organizations. Well, the Bahamas Flag Football League playoffs continuing yesterday at the field at Thomas Robinson Stadium. Semi-final action as teams vied to lock up their spots in the championship game. On the women's side, it would be the ground-up Pink Panthers and Sands Lady Hawks in a tough, gritty affair. However, in the end, it could only be one. Using their ferocious running game, the Pink Panthers would scrape past the Hawks 13-7.
Well, I would like to firstly thank God for this opportunity and bringing us here and giving us the strength and courage to even fight to this position. The entire season, like I said before in the previous interview, we fought. We fought, and we're here, and it's an overwhelming feeling.
Well, we came out and we execute. And I think once we execute, no team in this league could beat us. That's just my opinion.
Just, what was the game plan headed into today?
The game plan was to just execute. Run the ball. We know they couldn't stop the run, and that's what we did. We run the ball down their throat.
Well, let me just say, well-played game by the Pink Panthers. They did an excellent job moving the ball. And, of course, it's not the outcome we would have liked, but I think our ability to stop the run failed. And I think they had all the momentum in the first and second half. Actually, in the first half, they had all the momentum. But our inability to stop the run, that might have been our downfall.
On the men's side, it will be a rivalry renewed between the 70s Predators and the Avengers Flag Football Club. The emotions would run high in this one, but ultimately we would see a changing of the guard as the defending men's champs would fall 19-10. And the Avengers, they would lock up their spot in the men's championship game set for this Sunday. The Bahamas' junior golf team ended up with a fourth-place finish overall, the 34th Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships that wrapped up last week in Puerto Rico. Bahamas came into the third and final round in fourth place with 69 points and finished with 107 points after the third round. Winning the tournament was the host country, Puerto Rico. There were some high individual performances from Team Bahamas coming from players Aiden Garros, Carrington Roll, and Heathcliff Crane. Garros finished tied for second in the 13 under boys division with a score of 20 over par with a 233. As for Kane, this was his last dance in the CAGC tournament. He came away with the Izzy Marley Sportsmanship Award. Kane, who served as a team captain, competed in the 18 and under boys division. He finished sixth overall with a score of 18 over par with a 231. Over the weekend, officials from the Bahamas Coalition of Advocates for Disability Awareness and Services gathered at the Anatole Rogers Gymnasium as they launched a Beep baseball camp for visually impaired persons. The game that uses sound-emitting balls and bases to assist participants is designed to foster more inclusion for persons from this community.
It was a long time coming. When you learn that something like that started from 1974 thereabout, that's nearly 50 years ago. And the fact that there was never an opportunity for persons in the Bahamas who are blind or visually impaired, low vision, to have a sporting activity to be a part of. It's a wonderful feeling, and it just provides an opportunity down for them to go and get some exercise and run about in fresh air and just have a different form of entertainment rather than just listening to TV or radio, so they can really get active. And so it's just an awesome feeling to be able to get this started here in the country today.
Defense Force Commodore Raymond King was also in attendance, saying that his organization is glad to assist.
For me, personally, my vision is to be a socially responsible citizen as an entity, and recognizing the need in terms of giving back to society and those less fortunate or those who may be impaired. That is a pillar of my administration, and you would have realized the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has been aggressive in assisting entities throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of Bahamas.
That's been a look at sports. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame-grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Positioned for the now, prepared for the future. That was the theme of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute's 2022 commencement ceremony, which was recently held at the Bahamas Faith Ministries International Diplomat Center. Graduates received certificates, diplomas, and degrees in numerous technical and vocational disciplines. BTVI's interim president, Linda Davis, touted the resilience and determination of the class of 2022.
You have lived through one of the most tumultuous times we have ever experienced in our country and indeed the world. Yet, you stayed the course. You stayed this course despite dropped internet connections. You stayed the course despite being furlonged. You stayed the course when you were in virtual classes and a little human skipped across the screen during your presentation. You stayed the course when you and or family members had to battle the beast known as COVID.
Alexandria Pinder, an honors graduate and the most outstanding in media technology, tells us a bit about her journey.
To be honest, this was a little rough journey for me during the pandemic and everything, but I still pushed through. I didn't give up. I actually have a passion for it, so it was easy for me throughout the school semesters. And it actually helped me got a job at 103 The Beat on their personality, and I actually produced the Rodney Munker Show.
And she offers this advice to aspiring students.
Go in it wholeheartedly, be passionate about it. Even if it's just a skill, sometimes your skill do develop into a passion and you can exceed. And for me, I've been in an accident last month, so I didn't let that stop me. I still wanted to graduate and I pushed through, you know what I mean? So I'm happy to be here today. So don't give up, that's number one.
I was actually born into farming. My grandfather, who is 80 years old, he's a first-generation farmer. 3 generations later, I decided to go into farming. So we do have 2 operating farms at this time, the one in Nassau and the one in Andros. This season, Access Accelerator assisted us in funding our strawberry project here on Andros. With us being able to access the Fish and Farmers Grant, it has actually given us the capital that we needed to start this farming season for our strawberry crop. We do believe that people eating organic food is very important. We want to offer safe food and organic food. Some persons are still shocked that we've been existing for 8 years. Outside of having to come to our website to make purchases, if we can get more of our products to our clients, we'll be happy to do that. And local distribution would help us with that. I can tell you the industry is not attractive for young people. However, if you are passionate about something, you will definitely be able to excel in that area. And at this point for me, it's fun to be a farmer in the Bahamas.
My Gateway is the centralized, safe, secure way to access and pay for government services online. Go to mygateway.gov.bs. Click Login. Register with a government-issued ID like your NIB card. Fill in your personal information exactly as it appears on your ID, including spaces, periods, and dashes. You'll only have to sign up once. Now you're ready to request services on My Gateway. Receive an email confirmation for every request and email alerts when your documents are ready. You must have a valid, government-issued ID in order to collect documents. New services will be added every month. My Gateway is fast, easy, and convenient. For more information, visit mygateway.gov.bs.
Buy Chef Boyardee and Libby's Vienna sausages, and you could be one of 7 lucky winners to receive cash prizes up to $1,000. Take your receipts to